Hey everybody, you may have seen my recent video on my Suzuki DRZ 400 SM where I listed every modification on it, and there was a lot of them. I said I'd do my XJ6 as well, so this is what I'm doing. I'm going to list every mod on my Yamaha XJ6 Diversion 2010, known as Divi. Just like I mentioned on the DRZ video, there is a build series of me doing all of this work pretty much, so if you want to see any part in great detail, there will be a video that corresponds to that. Now, quite a lot of these products I'm about to list were supplied to me by companies for the build series, so I'm going to mention their brands, but no, well, I'll mention each one if they gave it to me. It's just a legal requirement. Now, there isn't nearly as many mods on this bike as my DRZ, so this shouldn't take nearly as long, so let's start at the top. Originally, I removed all of the stock stickering off this bike because I didn't like it. The angles of which it was lining up on it just didn't look right. I was given this screen by Skidmarks UK. It's one of their double bubble screens. The reason I put this on the bike is because the stock screen, which is clear and much taller, because of its height, at sort of motorway speeds, it would start to wobble back and forwards, and that would cause my head to buff it side to side, and it was horrible. I reduced the height of the screen by getting one of these double bubbles. It also looks nicer because it's smoked, and that means that I get hit by a cleaner stream of air into my face. Yeah, I don't get as much or any protection from it, but I don't get buffeted, so that's actually much better for me. I'm 6'4", by the way, so I'm quite a tall rider. RNG heated grips, they gave me those for the build series as well. Interestingly, when I put those on the bike, an awful lot of people got very passionate about saying how, no, you should have got Oxford ones, they won't last 5 minutes at all. It almost felt like a paid campaign, it was weird. But anyway, they've been on the bike now for a few years, they've been absolutely great. The rubber on the grips has worn down a bit now, it's a bit smooth. They're still perfectly usable, and they're still grippy in the wet. But I will look to replace those maybe this winter. Also, I'm not sure they get quite as hot as they used to, but that may just be an interpretation thing, I'm not sure. But replacing the heating elements, which is that part, will fix if they're not being as efficient. So, RNG heated grips, no complaints, nothing to say against them. Okay, next up is these Lextech levers, which I was sent by Lextech for this bike. Now, I will say, with levers, you need to be careful, obviously, because aftermarket levers, if they're not perfect for the bike, they can cause problems from, it not working properly. Maybe it doesn't set your brake switch off, to just basically not working at all. It can be serious. Even breaking your brakes. I've seen some quite nasty ones where it actually does some damage to the master cylinder. Point being, fit, form, functionality of these is absolutely fantastic, and I really like the feel of them. And they've lasted for years, and they're absolutely great still. So, highly recommend those particular set of Lextech levers for this bike. I don't know about how the fit is for other models, obviously. Thanks to Hell, they sent me a set of braided brake lines front and back for this bike, which seem to me better than the rubber hoses, but that's getting into a whole argument of whether braided or not, yada yada. Let's just say I have braided brake lines, I'm quite very happy with them, and they're made by Hell. This crash cage around the engine is absolutely fantastic. Now, I will say, touch wood, I have never dropped this bike in the time I've had it, so I've never dropped anything on the side of here, but however, if I did, I'd know that the engine was very well protected, because this frame sits all the way out. Now, this was on the bike when I got it. I don't know who it's made by. I think it might actually be the Yamaha official one that was sold at the time, but it may not be. It's kind of impossible for me to know, because I say it was already on the bike when I got it, and there was no receipt or anything for it. The exhaust is another thing I was given for the project. This was given to me by Black Widow Exhausts. It's been great. It's been on the bike now for I think it's 5 years-ish, maybe, something like that. I've not been very kind to it. I've actually cleaned it with Harpic and stuff like that, and it will clean up great every single time. It's held together fantastically. There's a little bit of rust on it, but nothing serious, no great pitting or anything like that. Like a lot of people said to me, Black Widow exhaust, you need to be careful, the metal quality isn't that good. I don't know where people are getting that from. I've abused these and they're fine. The end can still sounds absolutely fantastic, hasn't fallen apart or anything like that. I've done videos, installing this and trying different routings with that extension pipe, which people lost their mind over because it went straight down the swing arm. Not on the swing arm, but in line with it, which was a bit weird. Sounded good though. Very highly recommended, and few people make exhausts for this bike. And this was like half the cost of the Leo Vince and all of those ones. From the same people I got the screen, Skidmark UK, I got the cowl. I'm trying to remember if I got half price on this or I don't think I may have been given it. I'm not entirely sure. So let's just say at best I was given it. I may have been given a discount though. I can't remember. But yeah, that's been on the bike the whole time. I think it cleans up the look, makes it fit in a little nicer maybe. I like it. It is what it is. An absolute requirement for the XJ6 is to remove the god-awful tail end, number plate hanger, giant amount of scrap iron and plastic that goes on the back that weighs a ton. I've replaced that with an R&G tail tidy, which they again sent me for the build. Really cleans up the looks. It's great, and it fits in very well. Bit of a faff to get it in. Again, I've got a video on that, and the levers and everything else in this video. The indicators on the rear of this are from Amazon. I bought them myself, and they are the skinny long ones which go whip, whip, whip when you indicate, rather than flash, flash, flash. They were like £12 or £17 for 4 of them, and I was testing them out to be like, look, are they any good? Because if they're absolutely rubbish, then I can say to people, yeah, the Amazon ones, I haven't found any good ones yet. These have actually lasted really well. They got a bit of bend to them, quite a bit of bend, and they seem constructed in a sensible way. They're bright enough. They seem okay, but of course, whether the ones you see are the same thing inside when you buy from Amazon now is another thing. That's one of the problems with the way that Amazon works. But yeah. The front indicators, by the way, I got those from morespeedracing.co.uk. I can't remember if I bought them, if they were given to me. Again, it's been a while. But they are the flush fit indicators, and I think they are very nice because they hide into the bodywork. They're not giant black things that, the big giant rubbery ones. It's just a nice little light, and it's clear, so it's hidden. I do still have the safe turn system automatic brake thing in this bike. I have a video on that. I will say here, I've heard some problems with safe turn system in recent years about people buying products and them just not turning up and them not paying any attention to anyone. I did try to contact the CEOs of that company to like, hey dude, I'm getting people coming to me telling me you're ignoring them. Could you respond to me? And they never got back to me either. So I wouldn't recommend buying from that company, even though they gave me that for the review. As a product, I think it's all right. It's not necessary, really, but I don't have a problem with it. I say, watch that video if you want to know more about it. It basically makes the rear tail light come on when you're decelerating for engine braking. Watch the video, actually watch it and listen to what I have to say, and then, yeah. I also have a neoprene shock cover on this bike from R&G. They did give that to me as well. It just cleans up the look, makes the shock hide in a bit because it's not the nicest looking shock. It's pretty cheap. I've also got a tank protector sticker on here. And last but not least is I put 90-degree valves on this. And I have to say, I love 90-degree valves. It makes your life 10 times easier when you're at different petrol stations pumping your tyres up and they've got the wrong type of air gun to fit nicely into bike tyres, and you don't have to get your hand right into the wheel and get filthy and stuff. Is there an argument about them being unbalanced? Probably. Not doing 150 very often on this anyway. Not that I think this would ever do. I won't do 150, I'll tell you that much. Unless I'm forgetting anything, that is all of the mods on the XJ. Not nearly as many, mostly cosmetic. And none of the sort of faffy little ones like turkey basters turned into coolant reservoirs and different wiring to stock, like on the DR. That's a serious modification. Natural question is there anything left I'd like to do to this bike? And the answer to that is, yeah, actually, I think there is. One of the biggest thing I would like to do is upgrade the front forks. See if there's a cartridge system out there, or a spring replacement or something like that that can improve the front end on this, because those front forks are too bouncy. Another thing I'd like to do is replace the handlebars, because the original one's just a bit sort of worn looking. But I do really like the bend of these, and I've not been able to find out what bend this is in an equivalent, like a Renthal. So if you know what this is to be identical to the way it is now, if any of you know, let me know. But yeah, that could be a future thing. It's not necessary, it's just a visual appeal thing. And talking of visual appeal, the one other thing which I don't want to do necessarily, but I have considered, is that both of my bikes are very plain. I did used to like the way that my DR looked when it was covered in stickers and stuff, but I much prefer it with its clean look now. And I prefer the XJ with a clean look like this, compared to the stock stickering. But I am not against the idea of putting a graphics kit of some sort on this bike, or doing something with the looks of it, because I did go for an obvious black and white look. Everything is black and white. And I do like that, but, it could be more exciting. But there we go. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to smash the like out of the fuck button. I should probably be over 100k subscribers by this point, so thank you very much to all of you. And to people who aren't subscribed now, if you wish to subscribe, you can. If you don't wish to, I don't care. I've got my play button coming. A bigger thank you though goes to my Patreon supporters who make this channel possible in the first place. And if you'd like to help support this channel for as little as $1 a month, it's not expensive. There are benefits to it. The Discord is great with lots of people on there. You can chat about bikes and stuff. I believe it's worth it, and it makes this channel possible. And it also keeps this channel honest and away from Raid Shadow Legends. Catch you in the next one.